Oh my goodness. Let's get caught up on Melania. See if Michael Wolff, he's talking with Don Lemon. Want to see if we get any type of updates on this before we talk with Candace Owens and her take on Erica Kirk's interview that's scheduled for 9:30. So let's get caught up on this and then we will mosey over there. Let's go.
Talk about Michael. I saw some interesting news about you. Melania Trump threatened you, threatened to sue you. You sued her, and now what has happened?
Well, yeah. So we went into court. They threatened to sue us, and we, jujitsu'd this.
Shout out to Don
And
Lemon.
sued them in.
Michael Wolff is here to talk about Michael. I saw some interesting news about you. Melania Trump threatened you, threatened to sue you. You sued her, and now what has happened?
Well, yeah. So we went into court. They threatened to sue us, and we, jujitsu'd this, and sued them in New York. I mean, threatened to sue me for defamation over things I had said about her relationship. I mean, basically, all I said was that she knew Jeffrey Epstein, which we have seen in pictures, and she sued me for that because she and her husband do not, as we know, want this conversation about Jeffrey Epstein to go on. So what they do is they sue you, and everybody, and a whole string of people have been intimidated by this and have shut up. But in New York State, there are what are called anti-slap laws, because that would be a slap lawsuit. They slap the lawsuit at you, you're forced to shut up. In New York State,
Intimidation.
that's illegal. And
Strong
if
arm.
you use defamation suits, which you can't win because there's no basis in them, just to intimidate people, well, you can't do that. Then you can be sued. We have sued them on that basis, and preparing for this, what will be an expensive endeavor.
Yeah, I was going to say, Michael, lawsuits are really expensive to litigate.
Yes, and I was been nervous about this, and like 3 days ago, I got the first legal bill, and the thing about legal bills is
Hey
that
Samantha.
you
Hey all
expect the worst,
gentry.
and it's 10 times worse than that. But as of on Tuesday, election day, as that good election was unfolding, we started a GoFundMe page. And in 24 hours, we raised, you know how much? $500,000.
Oh wow. They want you to get it
24
done.
hours, $500,000 from 10,000 small amount donors.
Oh
You've
wow.
raised $500,000 in 24 hours.
And 20 they want him to go forward, baby, and put that truth out, don't they?
Travel the world for inspiration.
Oh my goodness.
And
You
create
go,
unique fine
Wolf.
jewelry that feels.
Yep. So we're ready. You got a war chest, you go to war.
So you're ready to go to war.
Yeah, you bet.
Y'all please come in, hitting the like button.
Then, if that says a lot about the sentiment of
Absolutely.
how people are feeling about Donald Trump and MAGA out there.
It does.
Even you have had access. You've written so many books about Donald Trump and the administration, et cetera. Melania Trump, is one of the characters in your book. You've written about Donald Trump. Were you surprised by this? Even you?
I was astonished. I mean, I thought that people would be willing to support this and would be helpful, but it's not so easy to get people to part with
$500,000,
and I was prepared
in
for
24
this
hours.
slog. But here we
Hey,
are.
Vicky.
I mean, effectively probably quite almost close to fully funded, ready to go to carry this lawsuit wherever it
They
goes.
want that information, don't they?
We talked about, so wherever it goes. Look, $500,000 that could take you a long ways, depending on how long this lawsuit drags on.
And by the way, the ticker is still going. So this continues to go. And I think what we've pledged now is that if we raise more money than we need, then we'll use this to fund other people's defenses, free speech defenses.
Amazing. You have stumbled onto something perhaps that people, something new in fighting the Trump legal intimidation
Well,
machine.
you know,
what
and
mean?
I have this feeling that maybe something that the ground is maybe, hopefully, finally starting to shift. And you know, we've had this terrible year.
$500,000 in
and I think
24
it caught
hours.
all kinds of people, most people, completely
Wow.
off guard. And we haven't
Hey,
known.
Ronnie.
Nobody has quite known what to do, and you kind of look to these institutions that you think will defend what's supposed to be defended, and they have been afraid, cowering. So I think now at this moment, it's people saying, okay, we got to do it ourselves.
Right.
Well, a couple of things that I want to mention here. So hold the thought about the ground is shifting. You mentioned, you said your goal. What is your goal?
Well, I mean, the goal is to win this lawsuit and but I think along the way, use the subpoena power that this lawsuit gives us to really find out what happened with Donald Trump, Melania Trump, Jeffrey Epstein. That is the
He wants to be able to put the T out. They are going to hopefully tackle this Epstein, reveal the truth coming out one way or another, or individually and collectively. And for him to be able to raise $500,000 within 24 hours to pursue this lawsuit that he has with Melania, which he will be requesting what is it called? Deposition from Donald Trump regarding Epstein. Wow, that's probably sealed. Yeah, that he would never release. So now, because Melania tried to sue him for defamation, he then turned around and sued her for $1 billion because he has dirt on her as well as her husband. So when you hear me say that she dated Epstein for a year before dating Donald Trump, Wolff knows. When you hear us talk about she gave it up on the airplane on the way to Epstein Island to Trump for the first time, Wolff knows because he was sitting down with Epstein and Epstein was confessing to him. So why she thought it would be a good idea to sue him for defamation, knowing that he has the tea. He has the tea. I don't know. But that's what's happening. So shout out to him and the donors wanting us to know. And also, as I mentioned earlier today, Hakeem Jeffries and Marjorie, that Marjorie lady, they have agreed to, once the victims get their lists together collectively, that they will, on the House floor, release the names because they have immunity where the victims don't. They could be sued. So the names are going to come out. They are coming out. It's just me. $500,000 in 24. Yes. She's been in the mental block. Yeah, I don't know what all he's gonna tell, but as far as the Epstein goes, they took the bait. First it was Hunter Biden. He kind of laughed at her, and then she went after Wolff, and Wolff wants it out. So since they playing in our face, this is his way of getting it out. So shout out to him. I mean, that means to me, people want to support his cause. Don't stop. Keep going. That's what 500,000 in 24 hours mean to me. Hey, Mrs. Tom. Who else did I miss? I saw Vicky. Yeah, I got you. Yeah. So shout out to him.
Specific place we are going.
I thought you had a financial goal that you wanted to reach from the GoFundMe.
No. I mean, the financial goal. I think, as you know, that one of these lawsuits is expensive. So I think our goal is $750,000, but which I think we will reach. And and I'm not sure exactly how these GoFundMe things work. Maybe people can continue to contribute, and we will use that money in a broader plan to defend free speech against the Trumps.
The other thing you mentioned
Against
is
the Trump.
you said institutions, being intimidated. And one is I watch and have had so much frustration. I can't watch that much. Is the corporate media, the mainstream media. It's just I don't know what's going on. There's such a consolidation of these big media, giant media companies owning all of the media.
No, well, there's that problem that media companies that own news divisions have more important fish to fry than the news. Mm-hmm. So therefore, they're not going to jeopardize their broad business plans for the sake of these small and usually not too profitable news divisions. I mean, even the other day, that 60 Minutes, in 60 Minutes was sued by Donald Trump. CBS, which is the parent of 60 Minutes, then settled with Donald Trump, essentially capitulated, and the suit against the Trump suit was entirely frivolous, specious. They would have lost that suit. But CBS wanted to merge with another company. They'll need the government's approval.
That's been
they needed the government's approval. They've gotten it.
Tiffany.
And they settled, and that was taken care
of. Who is
of.
Tiffany? I know he has a daughter named Tiffany.
And just the other day,
but who is Tiffany?
60 Minutes
Mrs.
did
Tom?
an interview with Donald Trump. And I suspect that part of the settlement was you'll do an interview with me, and it will be a gentle interview. And it was an incredibly gentle interview. I mean, Trump said the most ridiculous things, as usual, with no follow-up, just 60 Minutes sitting there in a docile mood.
Do you remember what the original suit was that he got the money for? It was they said editing an interview with Kamala Harris. They actually edited out.
How are you going to sue somebody for their editing?
This time, and put the original, online, and the edited part went on television, which is the exact same thing they did.
Yeah, Tiffany is his daughter.
Totally. I mean,
with
it cannot be more shocking. So,
Marla
Maple. We clearly can't rely on them. So, so I think this, starts to feel like an alternative. Other people have to take this in our own hands. There is clearly support for this, really support. I mean, on the part of thousands and thousands and thousands of people willing to put up their own money. Let's fight this.
Yeah.
And then the other thing that you mentioned was the ground shifting. Now, we were having a meeting, my team, and we were wondering, seeing all the fallout from the election, being able to raise so much money and other things that we're seeing. You have Marjorie Taylor Greene defecting, you have other Republicans defecting. Is MAGA, is it, I don't know if it's over. Is it over? Is it crumbling? Is it, I don't know.
Well, I think that there are a lot of forces at play here. I mean, one of the things that's going on within within MAGA is a competition to succeed Donald Trump. Who leads MAGA? Donald Trump will shortly, even though he's talking about a third term, that's really just a distraction at this point, from the fact that he's going to be a lame duck president. And then, it's a fight. Is it J.D. Vance? Is it a MAGA person? And, the MAGA, there's part of MAGA that is going further right than even Trump, and which means further right than J.D. Vance. Vance can only go so far. I mean, he can apparently throw his wife under the bus as he did last week, but he can't throw Donald Trump under the bus.
Mm-hmm. But is there a successor to Donald Trump? Because I think when Donald Trump
No, I mean there is not. I mean, I think Donald Trump leaves this stage, MAGA collapses, the Republican Party collapses, and it becomes
Can y'all hear me now? Can y'all hear me now? Can y'all hear me now?
going on.
Which says the Republican Party collapses, and it becomes a major existential question. But there will be
Y'all don't see him talking
in 2028 who will not be, at least in all probability, will not be Donald Trump, and this is going to be.
Mm-hmm. But is there a successor to Donald Trump? Because I think when Donald Trump
I mean there is not. I mean,
Okay, you do. Okay.
I think Donald Trump leaves
Hey, Brian.
the
Hey,
stage,
Karen.
MAGA collapses, the Republican Party collapses, and it becomes a major existential question. But there will be a nominee in 2028.
Robert, what are you saying no to?
At least in all probability, will not be Donald Trump, and this is going to be fought to the bitter end.
Yeah, I feel the same way about that. Is there a successor to Charlie Kirk? And everyone keeps vying for that, and it doesn't stick. Even J.D. Vance possibly. But the same thing about Donald Trump. I think once Donald Trump is out of office and or the other alternative or both, MAGA is over. It goes the way of the Tea Party.
Yeah, and that's one of the election things. I think that we've seen again and again and again.
They're gonna
Donald
wish
Trump
they never
remains
tried to sue this man.
Inexplicably, preternaturally popular. But anybody else who tries to be Donald Trump falls on his face.
So, Michael, let's get back to the lawsuit. So then, where are we with this? Have you been trading, briefs, and are you, jockeying back and forth? What's going on?
Okay, so if your screen is black, then you have to go out and come back in.
Actually, I can't remember.
Because that's on your end.
90 days. This lawsuit is only 2 weeks old. So
refresh.
They have 90 days to respond.
Robert.
But we will then start to subpoena all of the principals in this. Anyone who knows anything about the relationship of Donald, Melania, and Jeffrey Epstein will be compelled.
Subpoena.
So they have 90 days to respond, but we will then start to subpoena all of the principals in this. Anyone who knows anything about the relationship of Donald, Melania, and Jeffrey Epstein will be compelled to testify. I mean, I think it's a real opportunity to get to the bottom of this story. I'm not sure anything else will force their hand, but I think this very well might.
What do you want to ask? So you said anyone involved, which would mean Melania, which would mean Donald Trump. What would you like to ask them?
Well, I think the questions and the damning questions is what were they doing through the 1990s, and what were they doing? Epstein and Trump were obsessed with models. That was a major part of their life. Supermodels, runway models, catalog models, girls just who dreamed of being models. And they wanted them for status, they wanted them for business. Remember, they were both They both had invested in modeling agencies.
Fake.
Trump had
Fake.
had beauty pageants. Epstein was involved with Victoria's Secret, and then they both had obviously a sexual agenda. You know, I mean, a lot of you know the people, some of the people I talked to in the White House, and I still, you know, after writing 4 books and after doing this for 10 years, well, I mean, I have become rather friendly with a lot of people around Donald Trump, believe it or not. And but they've said, as I've talked about this, and they said, well, you don't mean that Trump liked little girls. And to that, I have said what I mean, and what is the case, the truth, is that he liked models. How old are models? You know, that's very elastic.
Yeah. Are you putting? I mean, are they putting the Epstein files in play, or are you putting them in play because I would imagine you would have the power to subpoena the files because the information you would need is in those files?
Yes, that's a curious
Ooh.
that's a curious point, and
Y'all hear that?
I think it's
To subpoena the files because the information you would need is in those
See,
files.
they're gonna hate that they even
Yes.
tried to sue
Putting-
Michael Wolff.
I mean, are they putting the Epstein files in play? Or
Y'all understand? It's just a way to backdoor the files and get them out.
are you putting them in play because?
Hey, Flip,
I
thank
would
you.
imagine you would have the power to subpoena the files because the information you would need is in those files.
Yes, that's a curious point, and I think it's unclear, but that's certainly we will try to go down that road, and but now at the moment seem to have the resources to do that.
Michael Wolff, once again with a blockbuster.
Listen, this is dangerous territory for, well, now Melania, because Melania is the one who attempted to sue Arthur Michael Wolff. Why? And I think she tried to do it with Biden, Hunter Biden. I think she gave him a deadline, and he said absolutely not. But Wolff has been wanting the truth to come out. He's been dangling, information, leaking information on the cool. So for her to come at him, she took the bait. And it just opened up that avenue to get it out. Since they stalling. And she should know, as well as Trump should know, that he has it.
The files because the information you would need is in those files.
Yes, that's a curious point, and I think it's unclear, but that's certainly we will try to go down that road, and but now at the moment seem to have the resources to do that.
Michael Wolff, once again with a blockbuster.
Oh yeah, and I don't know if Trump
Thank you, Michael.
made him mad, or well, he's wrote several books
Thank
on Donald Trump.
Thanks so much for watching, everybody. Your support me.
Thank you. Shout out to Don Lemon. Let me see something before I go. This is gonna be short. Because I got the let me see something so I won't be stalling. I got about 10 minutes. Because okay, this is right on time. So I can go ahead and take care of this one. Tell us what you know. Yeah, do y'all know that the former Prince Andrew has, I don't know, has he been subpoenaed? I don't know if he's been subpoenaed. I don't know if they call it being... Y'all please hit the like button. but he is due to come to the States to testify before the Oversight Committee. Which is a wow. For real. A wow. Let me check this out real quick. Then I'll be back at 9:30 with
A way that an innocent person would handle himself.
Candace Owens.
He hasn't handled himself in a way that an innocent person would handle himself.
Prince Andrew strongly denies all the allegations of sexual assault made against him. Now this man wants him to stand by his words.
Please come to the United States, tell us what you know, and clear your name before a committee.
Suhas Subramanian sits on a congressional committee looking into Jeffrey Epstein's crimes. And do you understand that there are videos and images that are in those files?
That's my understanding, yes.
And he believes...
Clear your name before a committee.
Suhas Subramanian sits on a congressional committee looking into Jeffrey Epstein's crimes. And do you understand that there are videos and images that are in those files?
That's my understanding, yes.
And he believes there are many questions for the prince yet to answer.
I wouldn't be surprised if Prince Andrew's name comes up again.
What are you calling for Prince Andrew to do here? What is the committee hoping he will agree to?
Yeah, I hope Prince Andrew will come to our committee and testify about everything he knows, both his associations with Jeffrey Epstein, as well as any of the activities Jeffrey Epstein participated in, and his knowledge of the whole, what I call criminal enterprise that involves sex trafficking underage girls. And this would be an opportunity for Prince Andrew to clear his name and to come before lawmakers here who are investigating this matter. And I think an opportunity for him to kind of move this forward and get this story off of him. So if he did nothing wrong, then he should come and testify before a committee.
Does the committee have the power to compel him to appear?
He's a foreign national, and so we're very limited in our ability to compel him to do anything, really.
He's a what
but
national?
Again,
Compel him to appear.
He's a foreign national, and so we're very
okay.
limited in our ability to compel him to do anything, really. But again, we offer different venues for him
Hi,
to be able to
Alicia.
tell his side of the story. He can come and talk to us sort of in private or in a deposition-style meeting. We've done that with other people. Or if he wants to come and do a public hearing, I think we'd be happy to do that. Certainly, there's many members of the committee who want to see him here and want to hear what he has to say.
We've heard a lot of kind of new details coming out and reinforcing details that Virginia Dufresne had said when she was alive that in her biography.
Rumor has it
What was your
Melania is
reaction when
in
you
there
saw
as well.
Some of the kind of those details and the abuse that she suffered.
Yeah, unfortunately, I wasn't surprised. And unfortunately, Jeffrey Epstein had a lot of associates, and many of them were either helping helping by being complicit in his actions or participating in these sexual assaults of underage women. And so, Prince Andrew had a very close relationship with Jeffrey Epstein. It's not surprising to see his name pop up again.
Do you think there was a financial relationship between them?
I think so. Again, what we're trying to
It
get right
was
now
with
is all the
Fergie.
evidence. I like to go where the evidence takes me, right? So if it takes me to several Democrats that I've known over the years, then so be it, right? I just want to get to the truth. And in this case, we've heard different names and different financial associations. And one thing we know is that Jeffrey Epstein had, a personal life. He had his criminal behavior, and then he had his business associations. And the three were very much intertwined. He used his sex trafficking to get business deals and get favorable treatment and get favors done for him on the business side. And he used his kind of personal dealings and friends to help with his sex trafficking. And so it was sort of a triangle of activity that was all related.
Do you think it's possible Jeffrey Epstein was blackmailing Prince Andrew?
I think it is possible. And it seems like this was him and Ghislaine Maxwell's sort of reasoning behind some of what they were doing. Otherwise, other stuff they were doing as well, was because of their nature. But part of it was because they were trying to blackmail people, essentially, by exploiting these young women. And so I do think that it's very likely, very possible that Prince Andrew was being blackmailed.
Do you think the royal family is trying to get ahead of the narrative of this story because they think that more allegations about Prince Andrew are about to come out?
You know, that's a good question. I mean, this isn't sort of the activities of a side that doesn't have anything to hide, really. You know, again, we're giving
Hey, we are
Prince
the
Andrew the
streets.
opportunity, though, to clear his name.
Hey.
And I think the royal family would want that as well if he did nothing wrong. If he did do something wrong, then, you know, obviously, you know, he may not want to testify under oath here, but we would like to give him at least the opportunity to do so and at least talk to us about what he knows and help us in our investigation.
What you say? Hold on.
Andrew the opportunity, though, to clear his name. And I think the royal family would want that as well if he did nothing wrong. If he did do something wrong, then, you know, obviously, you know, he may not want to testify under oath here, but we would like to give him at least the opportunity to do so and at least talk to us about what he knows and help us in our investigation.
What do you understand?
That we're looking for, based on what victims have told us. One, we're bank records, and so some of that isn't necessarily in the FBI's possession. Some of that is actually in the possession of banks, really. And we're trying to get that information because many victims have told us to follow the money.
No, Melania is in the book. Melania is in the book. AunTeaFee, huh? Did you just call her Melania? Yes, indeed, haunted. Melania was with Epstein a whole dang year before she ever got with Trump. She's a pass around. She's a pass around. I wouldn't think he would be taking her to the Epstein Islands and stuff like that, where he playing with them women. But she came up, Melania. Yeah, but she came over illegal. How she came over and what she was doing when she came over fits his MO, Epstein's MO of trafficking. She was a model from a foreign country and didn't have a valid passport or visa to come over. So she came over illegally. So, you know, with that MO, and then the guy, she came over and stayed with another guy. It's like, what? You staying with folk you don't even know? I mean, yeah, you roommates, you ain't making no money. What you doing? Hello? Yeah. So it comes to find out that the guy who was pimping her first, of course, was friends with Epstein. Yeah. And then she was with him, dated him, screwed him. You know, he pimped her. Whatever he was doing, he was testing the waters before he sold. Now, we think, some of the teeth sippers think, that big check that they have in the paperwork, in the files, that says that he purchased a depreciating woman for $20K, there may be a good chance that that was for Melania. She was depreciated because Epstein had already tapped that ass. Woo! AunTeaFee. Now, why would you laugh at her? Yeah, what did they say on that Madea movie? She's a 20K hoe. She had depreciated. Yeah, Epstein had her furs. Yeah. Yeah, so that big check thing that had Trump name and it had purchased a female for that was depreciated. Yeah, that may have been old Melania. And then she got a visa, Einstein visa, and then she got a whole mama and stuff and daddy. over in the U.S. That's what's going on. And Wolff, she tried to sue Wolff, Michael Wolff, for putting some of her business out there. And then he turned around and he's suing her. And he gonna want all the records, all the deposition. It's finna get good. They passed, she's a pass around. She's a pass around. And she said, sleeping in the same bed with you with a pissy and shitty ass diaper. I didn't sign up for that. No sir. I can't sleep in the same bed with you and you shitting on yourself. Got my 1,200 thread count sheet smelling like shit. Who gonna wash them sheets? The devil is a lie. You had a yeah, that's what's going on, y'all. That's what's going on. Let me finish.
I do have many names of people who were either helping Jeffrey Epstein in his crimes or who are participating in
so
the
now they are wanting now they want since
banks,
hold on sir. So now I'm finna finish this up, but now they are wanting the former, he's no longer been he's no longer a prince. So the former prince, they saying we work out something with you and your brother. If you come on over here and tell us what you know. They trying to subpoena Prince Andrews to tell them what he know about Trump. They baiting his ass. I'm gonna tell y'all that now. They are baiting Trump. And Wolff, Michael Wolff, let me put him up so you know who I'm talking about. He know the tea. He know this one right here. He know Trump was with minors, girls and boys. He know. Sorry. Yeah, I'll be back at 9:30. I'll be back.